I was instantly kind of irritated at everybody for the way that they all kind of like got on Natalie.
Okay, see, I already hear the hesitation in your voice, and I understand. But I know that there's somebody out here watching that knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Hey guys, I'm BetinaBunni, and today I want to talk about some reality. So usually when I post, it'll probably be more about current things going on or current shows. But I need to backtrack for a little bit, and I'm going to explain why. So I'm rewatching 90 Day Fiance. This is probably going to make me sound crazy, but I'm an Air Force wife, and my husband was away for a year. He was deployed, and now he's back. So I wanted to catch him up on 90 Day Fiance. So what I did was I went back to when he left, and I looked up 90 Day Fiance, all the series, and I put it in chronological order, and now we're catching up. But I watched the regular ones where it's just the full episode, but I think it kind of drags for my husband, so we watch Pillow Talk, and that's been good for him because, you know, it's funny, and we love all the couples that are on there, well, most of them. And it kind of gives him a quick synopsis of what's going on so that when we get into our current season of whichever series we're on, he'll be caught up. So we watched 90 Day Fiance, just the regular 90 Day Fiance from 2021. And then we watched 90 Day Diaries, 90 Day Bears All. Like this, I'm real serious about this. We're looking at everything, okay? And we just finished Happily Ever After. And this is why I want to come back, because I was instantly kind of irritated at everybody for the way that they all kind of like got on Natalie. So I guess I'll give you a quick update or a quick overview on Natalie. Now, let me preface this by saying I'm not a Natalie fan. Like, there's a lot of things that she did that I feel like we're childish, and just like, come on, you guys are, it's not like they're, you know, like all these other 90 Day Fiance people who are young and they just are like trying to learn and stuff. You guys are older, you guys should know better. So I'm not a huge Natalie fan, but this is why I was getting upset, because on the 90 Day Fiance Pillow Talk, a lot of the people were saying that they understood Mike and that they felt bad for him, and that Natalie was just like playing him and using him. And I'm like, did y'all not forget everything that led up to this? Okay, so basically Natalie is from the Ukraine, and she met Mike, her husband now, legally anyways, because her friend ended up marrying somebody that he knew, or a friend of his. So they introduced them to Mike, introduced each other, and there you go. Then when we first initially saw it, he was going over there, and you can tell that they had some very big issues, you know, like religious issues, kid issues, just like all these big topics that you guys have to, you know, figure it out. But you could tell that they did love each other, right? So I guess like the part that we weren't getting, there was a lot of like questions like, wait, but why are they in this place? And when they would get to the tell-alls, they would just look like they don't like each other. And then, you know, a bomb dropped that he had slept over his best friend's house, which happened to be a female. She was getting married, and she was having Mike come over there because he's her best man. And the fiance or the husband was supposed to be there, but supposedly he ended up not staying there. and he stayed. And then when he called Natalie, he had his shirt off, and at one point the friend was like in the background saying, hey, I'm gonna take a bath, or something to that extent. So yeah, she was upset, and rightfully so. So this is what I'm saying, like, I think like all you guys just forgot about this. Like, okay, he's saying nothing really happened, but how are you not gonna feel insecure as a woman if your fiance is over here at some girl's house alone when both of y'all said that the husband would be there? You got your shirt off, and this girl's talking about she's gonna take a bath. And then when they were at the tell-all, she said, oh, well, I usually do say that, like, I'm gonna announce that I take a shower. Who does that though? Like, I would not be in my house with another male that is, a friend, or even like my husband's friend, and be like, oh, I'm gonna take a shower. Like, no, like, I'm gonna close the door. I'm gonna go take a shower by myself. Like, I don't know. It's just weird to me, right? Okay. I'm gonna play devil's advocate though. Let's say nothing did happen, but she has a right to be concerned, because that is not normal. People don't just go stay the night at this age. Like at 30 plus, we don't just go to a friend's house and stay the night with your shirt off and it's all cool. Like when you're engaged, like it just none of that was right. Okay, so fine. Let's pretend nothing happened. Natalie's just overreacting, right? So that was one of the issues. Then we see them happily ever after. 90 Day Happily Ever. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Okay. Okay, so I had to go back and remember that before Happily Ever After happened. Also, Mike's mom did not like Natalie. Plain off, like just thinking like you're using him for the green card. And like for the longest, as a viewer, I'm like, why does she just really not like her? Is it really just because she thinks like she's just using him, or what is it? Because like, I mean, Natalie seems like a little bit of a brat throwing temper tantrums but so does Mike. Mike is worse too, because it's like a grown man having these temper tantrums, and it's like you're not even trying to discuss anything. You're just as toxic, because every time you're trying to run away. So I'm like, this mom is obviously hearing just her son's side of the story and is sticking up for him, and that's okay. But the way she tries to stick up for him and what she does is just disgusting. Like, I need to explain, like, this 90-day fiance thing. You literally, once your person comes into the United States, they have 90 days to marry. And if you're living with somebody for the first time, 90 days is not that much when making a big decision to marry somebody and to really, like, make a commitment like that. Because living with somebody is just a whole different breed, and I know at least a lot of people can relate to that. Like, that's stressful in itself. And Natalie was coming from Ukraine, and she comes to Squeam, Washington. Squeam, like at all the places. So it's a big culture shock. I mean, it's just so much going on in addition to the drama with him and this best friend and him and his mom. It's just like so much. So that's what I guess what I was trying to get at is like, so, I'm watching like, these 90-day fiance, pillow talk, happily ever after. And I'm remembering all this stuff that happened from 90 Day. And I just feel like everybody that was commentating it has just forgot about this. And I guess that's why I'm just bringing it up, except for Lauren and Lexi. Love them. They're a great couple. And she's like the main one saying, listen, I'm not a Natalie fan, and I don't think things that she's done is right. But Mike was an asshole, and Mike did a lot of bad things and uncomfortable things, and so did the mom, and that's a lot. Like, so okay. So basically by the end of like 90 Day Fiance, they're supposed to get married. Like, that's what you have to do. You get married or you go home. And they seem like they want to get married, and at some point, like, you could kind of see them like actually like, cute together, where I'm like, okay, see, they can be happy when they're just them. And a few days before the wedding, I guess Mike's mom wanted him to call it off. She's like, you don't have to go through with it. Like, just don't do it. And she even went as far as telling Mike's neighbor to object to the wedding. You know, when you're at the day of the wedding and it's like, hey, does anybody object to these two people being married? She wanted somebody to stand up and for her to say, yeah, no, you should not marry my son. And that's like literally bonkers. Like, this lady's batshit crazy, for real. And Mike does cancel the wedding. The day of the wedding that they were going to get married, he does cancel it because his mom's in his ear. And that's another issue. Like, you literally have all these things going on. Your best friend is just being inappropriate. You and your best friend. You're not understanding it. You're acting like a child and having these tantrums, storming off, won't have these conversations. Your mom is getting involved to the point where you cancel the wedding and you don't want to marry me. But yet this woman is supposed to just be like, oh, that's okay. Don't worry about it. Like, whatever. No. So Mike and Natalie do end up getting married. And then that's how they get onto happily ever after, because that's what it is. 90-day fiance, happily ever after the marriage, right? Or so, you know, hopefully. So you see them back in Squeam, Washington, mind you, okay? And I think that's another issue. You know, she's used to being in a bigger city. They go to Seattle a lot, and she's asking him, maybe we can move there. He's saying no, like, he doesn't want to, whatever the case may be, fine. They're still having issues, you can tell. And at one point, they go to Seattle. So they're in Seattle for his birthday to celebrate. And the conversation just takes a turn for the left. Apparently... Well, Mike has said, like, you need to get along with my friends. You need to be nice. And she's like, well, maybe I would be nice if they don't send you pictures of their boobs. So apparently Mike is still like being inappropriate with people, getting nude pictures of different girls. And then he's like, I'm not having this conversation. I'm leaves Seattle, like leaves her in Seattle. And I don't even know what the distance is. I should do it. But ends up leaving her and is mad. And like, I'm telling you right now, Mike, you got the right one, because had you been with me and you had pictures like that, your birthday, Christmas, Thanksgiving, everything's gonna be ruined. I know it's not the perfect time to have these conversations, but it's never a perfect time to have people sending you pictures of their boobs when you're married. So that's that. He doesn't want to talk about it. He never wants to talk about it. And, you know, in between happily ever after, they're either trying to make it work, but then it takes an even bigger turn, because I feel like this, and I think it was either Lauren or it was Stephanie. Stephanie is another one who kind of got the full picture. They were saying like she just had enough. And I think it was Stephanie's mom, to be honest, that Mike was an asshole this whole time leading up to it. And now she's just fed up. And after all these inappropriate messages and pictures, like, and the mom, like, no, like, it's too much. They went to his mom's house for Thanksgiving. And I'm telling you this too, Mike got the right one, because had it been me, we would not be going to your mama house for no kind of holiday, nada, because there ain't no way somebody's going to try to object to the wedding or tell somebody else to object to my wedding, and I'm going to be going to break bread with you. Yeah, y'all got the right one. So she ended up going, and it obviously didn't go well. Like, his mom was overstepping boundaries, trying to tell her to be an interpreter, to make money. You can't rely on my son for all this money. Like, it's not your place. It's not your marriage. Okay? That was that. They know this girl's a vegetarian, been a vegetarian for 8 years, yet they bring her to a butcher shop. Like, how rude are you? Like, you want to make her uncomfortable, right? But you're mad because she left the place. So the way she left, yeah, it was kind of childish. She could have been like, hey, you know, I'm just like not comfortable, I'm gonna stay outside. But y'all could have also made her comfortable too by saying, listen, this is a butcher shop, you're probably not gonna feel very comfortable. I'll keep the car on for you. You could just be out in the car or whatever. Or the husband could be like, hey, we could stay out or go, you know, look around somewhere else. But y'all brought her to a butcher shop. Y'all know she doesn't like it. So then Thanksgiving comes around and it just hits the fan. Natalie says that his mom called her a hooker underneath her breath. She says she never did it. But to be honest, everything leading up to it, why you want to stop my wedding? Why would I not think that you would call her a hooker? Come on, like, you probably did. And you guys start double teaming on her. And Mike, this is your wife. Regardless of whether or not you think it's true or not, you should be having your wife's back, and you do not. So by this point, I think this is when the light bulb is kind of coming off for Natalie, and she's like making her exit plan. And she meets her friend who's from, you know, also from Russia, and she starts going over there more and more. And basically at the end of it, she ends up moving in with a friend, and everybody's like on the 90-day fiance pillow talk. They're like, oh, bye, Natalie, you need to go, da-da-da. But what I'm saying is, like, if you really thought about it in its entirety, you could understand where she was at. Like, enough was enough. He is not gonna ever listen to anybody but his mama. He's not gonna do anything but what he wants to do, and if that includes getting naked pictures from girls, he's gonna do it, which is not okay. And she left. 90-Day Fiance, the reunion comes on, and she announces that she's not even in Washington. She went to Florida. Don't blame you. Now, this is where it is kind of wrong, where she supposedly was with another man. They don't say what it was about, but she went to New Orleans to see one of the other couples, and she was with somebody else. But Mike is still, you know, paying for some stuff. She still has his card. Now, yeah, that's wrong, but at the end, is her leaving wrong? No. I think she should have given back the cards. I'm like, yo, I don't need nothing from you. It is what it is. Even though, like, if you're thinking about it in reality, it's like this girl came over to this country for you. And yeah, maybe she shouldn't be seeing other guys, but at the end of the day, you still are liable. You're still responsible for her and her getting on her feet, and you know, that's what y'all sign up for. That is part of the contingencies of this, which is why it's a big deal when you do these things. It's like, you cannot expect to be with somebody and tell them to leave their country and you'll be there for them, and then just like things don't work out and it's just like whatever. No, like, that's why you should have these conversations. What if this doesn't work out? What are our plans? And if that aligns, then yes, okay, go forward with it. But these people just be jumping in thinking love is all it is, and it's not. It's so much more. And let's just say he's mad that she was with another guy, and everybody forgot about the problems that led up to it. They're yelling at her. They're screaming, like, if you don't love him, then you need to go. Like, I think she did love him, and I think he loved her. But I think he didn't want to be held responsible, or he was embarrassed or whatever, or he just didn't want to stop these behaviors that he was doing where he's able to still receive pictures. And if she's in another country, like, you could do that without any questions. But when you're actually with somebody, that's when you really got to stop doing these things. And I don't think he was prepared to do that. And I think he failed her also. And that's what I think. And Angela had a lot to say. Angela's another 90-Day Fiance, and she got too much, like, but Angela's too much, so I don't believe anything she says anyways. But she was just like, if you don't love him, go back to your country. And I'm like, Angela, please sit down. Several seats down. So basically why I wanted to break it down is because, like I said, I just think that everybody except for Lauren, and Stephanie's mom just didn't get the whole picture. Like, it was an accumulation of things that happened that Mike failed her. Did she react well? Did she do everything she could have done? I don't know. That's only for them to describe. But for me, like, no. I would not be dealing with all that. I would have left a long time ago. They had no kids together. And, like, I think towards the end, he started feeling regretful. That's why he didn't really want her to leave. But by then, like, when a girl's done, she's done. And that's just the way the cookie crumbled. And what my husband doesn't know is that Natalie ends up being on 90 Day Fiance, The Single Life, season 2. So when he gets to that part, he's going to be like, what the? But yeah, so that's all I wanted to say. Let me know if you think I'm right, or if you think that Mike is still in the right and he was wronged and she was just here for his money or something. Let me know. And let me know if you want to hear more about these 92 Day Fiance people. Like I said, I'm trying to catch up on everything from 2021 with my husband. And then right now, regular 90 Day Fiance is on. And then I can do more up-to-date videos on that. But let me know if you want me to catch up with you too.
Okay, everybody, that's a wrap.